What's good, family? Smash the like button and subscribe. Wow, today, genuinely speaking, we're going to break down each of these things one by one so you man lock yourselves in for the next 24 to 48 hours. This ain't going to be no rush thing. I've seen certain dons there, they've been doing live streams and whatnot. Listen, we're breaking it down one by one, no rush thing. Not even a bit of a rush thing is this going to be. This is truly peak right now for Tyson Theory. He's sick, he's missing. I'm hearing from people within Theory's camp. And you know what, we're going to get to this in more detail in later down the line, but end of the day, point is, I couldn't wait to bring you man this news right now. AJ has roasted Tyson Theory so severely. I'm hearing in the late hours of the morning, or the early hours of the morning, Tyson Theory got up, left his apartment, and has gone on a bender, tearing the town up right now in Miami. He missing, he's sick. Yeah? This right here has pushed him over the edge. He was just starting to recover. His wife had to, let's not forget, his pregnant wife had to fly up to Miami because he was losing his head after Billy Ho lost. And now I'm hearing AJ roasting him has sent him over the edge again. He losing the plot. Yeah? He going hard in the paint right now. He was straight on the blow to AB. AB said, you know what, Theory? I'm kind of tired from last week. Theory's on there on his own. And you know it's bad, yeah? And you're turning up partying on your own. That's how you know it's, you know what I'm saying? He feeling bad right now. He missing. Your wife's pregnant. You can't be going out on the tear and she can't get hold of you and she's worrying about you. You're out there just going mad in the paint. Yeah? Going hard in the cut. Because you're feeling it right now. Anyway, let's get to what actually happened then. So obviously, I reported on it earlier today. Essentially, AJ has now reacted to Tyson Theory being a muppet and just being messy looking. And it's not even just Theory himself, it's his whole team. His team, he's got 4 promoters, 3 managers, and not one of their man has any IQ between them. Not even IQ. Like, for example, there can be dons here who have no IQ, but they're organised. You know one's there? Them dumb but organised dons. Them dumb but they try hard dons. Theory's team are dumb and sloppy looking. They're dumb and not organised looking. They're dumb and don't want to try hard. Over the last 6 months, we've seen Theory's team. He's got 2 of everything, which in reality, yeah, 2 of everything should mean twice as good, really, shouldn't it? Instead, his team is twice as dumb. Between all of them man, 20 man deep. Theory's got a 20 man deep team. 2 managers, 3 this, 3 that. Not one of them man has brought anything to the table. In fact, they've taken away from things. They've lost Theory millions of dollars in lawyer fees. Millions of dollars in missed fights. Millions of dollars in opportunity cost for the fights he could have had. Millions of dollars in inactivity. That's, at the end of the day, yeah, people forget that a fighter's career really is 20 years at best. 18 to 38. 20 years at best. And when you sit out for 2 of them years, more or less which is going to be by the point, or 18 months, when you sit out for one of them, that's 10% of your career that's gone. How much is that worth? I mean, if you end your career, yeah, and you've made 100 million in revenue, that's $10 million. 10% is wasted. And to be honest with you, it's even more than that, because you've got to remember, at the start of your career, you don't make much money. End of the day, right now, this isn't Theory sitting out for 2 years at the start of his career. He's sat out for 2 years at the pinnacle of his career. Let's not forget, he had just beaten he had just beat Wilder. His biggest victory yet. His most... yes, he lost to Wilder. Well, the first fight was what it was. He was memed and being the Undertaker. That had a certain level of clout, but really, that rematch, when he beat Wilder in devastating fashion, that was his coming out party. Wow, he's just whooped a Don who's got a bubbly back, a Don whose back jiggles, just mauled Wilder, who is athletic looking, even though he's got chicken legs, even though he's a cruiserweight, even though he's a blown up cruiserweight with spindly legs. End of the day, back fat, floppy back fat looking ass, whooped him. So people was gassed for him. Theory has become a representative for big bubbly looking dons. They think, oh, I can be like Theory too. My back can jiggle just like Theory's can. Yeah? Fury's been doing the most for all the big bubbly dongs right now. And instead of capitalising on that and thinking, you know what, and the thing is, we know Fury loves to fight bums. I'm not saying, go fight AJ again, but for sure, you should have capitalised on it. Fought Wilder again. There's another big payday on the back of, that's the thing people don't appreciate. This game is hard work, momentum. Look at Floyd Mayweather. People criticise him, yeah. Oh, he's boring. Oh, he don't fight often. To his credit, Mayweather fought twice every year without fail. Twice every year. And he was making 10 times what Fury's making. Despite that, he was fighting twice every year, like a metronome. That's how you build, that's how you make money. And yes, Floyd's broke as a joke now, but at the end of the day, it's about boxing. Or it's about the money. It's about everything. And he's sat around doing nothing. Looking sloppy looking. Anyway, end of the day, man. Fury's team, listen, what we do know is they're in trouble right now. Fury's going through it, for sure. He's out there in the club, turning up on his own, got the shades on, doing all kind of madness in the cut, going hard in the cut right now, in the club. Paris is there, stressing herself out. It's not good. You can't be leaving in early hours in the morning. We know that you've just been roasted by AJ. I understand. AJ just completely tore you apart. Because Fury thought, oh, you know what? This is going to be another one of them fun ones where I go on social media and I give AJ a jab and all my goofy fans blow me off some more. And I know, I'm going to have a good dig at AJ and we're going to call each other bodybuilders and I'm going to say I'm bare knuckle champion and we're going to go back and forth. That's what Fury thought. He thought it was one of them ones. Next thing you know, AJ weren't playing no games no more. And it's completely exposed him on a public global scale. On an MTK global scale, Fury's just been exposed on. Sent him over the edge. Anyway, let's get to what let's get to what the actual words were on this particular one. So, like I said, AJ's reacted. AJ's exploded on social media and said the following. The world now sees Tyson Fury for the fraud he is. You've let boxing down. You lied to the fans and led them on. You use my name for clout and not to fight. Bring me any championship fighter who can handle their business correctly. So, again, I've already done a video on this in its own right. That's the baseline for where all this started. This right here is the baseline for where... This is where Fury started to go off the wagon. This is the start of Fury losing his head and leaving in the early hours of the morning and having to go to the club to turn up. Because what we do know is, YB, you're lying. YB, you haven't got any links in Fury's team. How do you know he went out on a tear on his own? Well, I'll tell you where he ain't. I'll tell you where Fury ain't right now. He's not on social media. YB, it's a coincidence. He was having a back and forth with AJ and he magically disappeared for... What? When have we ever seen Tyson Fury magically disappear and not get the last word in? AJ finished this Don. This Don's finished right now on social media. Fury used to be the man, you know what? Fury loves calling AJ a bodybuilder. AJ would say nothing. All of a sudden, Mr. Big Mouth social media is lost. You can't find him. Just like Tyson Booth. He missing. He another one. He missing right now. Yeah? Coogie Bear, missing. And I'm hearing that MTK, they're going to give it another few hours, and soon they're going to roll in the Tyson Fury cover-up operation as well. Because Fury, Mr. Big Social Media Mouth, I like to mug AJ off, has just been seckled by AJ. AJ's literally... In fact, let me give some of you Fury fans an analogy you man will appreciate. AJ has essentially put Fury on his knees and has busted all over him a few times still. Yeah? Essentially, AJ's doing what Fury does to you, man, every day. Fury lines you all up nicely, tells you to open wide, and gives you a good busting. Yeah? That's what he does do, and you man love it. You man love come back for seconds. YB, mate, look, Wilder, mate. Let's blame Wilder for this one, mate. Yeah, Wilder won't accept 20 million. Wilder's letting down the fans. No, Fury's letting down the fans. Fury should have fought him in the last 12 months, bottom line. Why are you getting lawyers involved? Why are you trying to spend money trying to get out of something you signed up for? Go in there and do the work you signed up for. Stop signing for things and not obliging. What's wrong with you? What kind of attitude is that? Oh, wait there a minute. That's the kind of attitude where someone pays you to do their drive. You know what I'm saying? One of them ones. That's what that attitude is. Oh, you know what? I'm going to sign to do a fight, and then I'm going to try and find a way out of it. Oh, someone's paid me to do their drive, and now I'm going to do some goofy thing. You know, one of them ones. Better yet, someone's nan. It's almost like one of them ones where someone's nan pays you some money to do her roof, and because she's old and she can't get up there and check the work, you just do, you know what I'm saying, do a dodgy job, or don't even bother. Oh yeah, we're gonna gutter all your house for you. We're gonna gutter all, yeah, we're gonna clean the gutters for you, and you just take the money and piss about with a van and say, yeah, we've done it, no worries, and then leave. That's one of them ones, isn't it? That's where you got the attitude from. Oh, it's all adding up now, isn't it? Oh, you know what? We're going to sign an official multi-million-dollar contract, because no matter what we say about Wilder, yeah, the facts are, Wilder and Fury is a multi-million-dollar contract. Yes, it's not the AJ money. Yes, it's not the Mayweather money. It's still multi-millions. What is that about him where he decides, I'm going to sign a multi-million contract and then try to be goofy about it? Oh, it's that trying to bump people's nans mentality. Oh yeah, don't worry, we're going to give you a good job. We're going to really clean it. We're going to gutter your house for you. No work done. You just take the money and leave. Yeah, that's where that comes from. Oh yeah, we're going to do your drive and whatnot. Anyway, let's get to what Fury said. So AJ aired him out. At this point, Fury, again, this is where it started. But at this point, Fury doesn't know where it's going to end for him. He thinks, oh yeah, this is great. Because you know what Fury's like? He loves social media back and forth. That's all he does. For someone, yeah, who his fans, who are mugs themselves, but for someone whose fans think he's such a real, oh, you know what, Fury's such a real man. Fury's down to earth. For someone so down to earth, oh, sorry, tell a lie, I've never seen someone so down to earth who spends their whole life on social media. Literally living on social media. He's a fake. He loves the clout. He loves all of his new fake mates. He went to Miami. He went to Texas to blow smoke up Fury's Billy Ho Saunders' ass. He got murked, and then he ran off to Miami to party with his new fake mate, David Beckham. That's what we do know, anyway. So AJ said that aired him out. Fury again thinks, oh yeah, this is great. Me and AJ can have a good back and forth. AJ doesn't normally entertain my foolishness. So again, at this point, Fury's excited, thinking, yes, I've got what I've wanted. Yeah, listen, he got a lot more than he was bargaining for. Anyway, his actual words, his responses: "You're more full of shit than Eddie, spouting absolute shit. Your full team knew there was an arbitration going on. It was out of my hands, but I tell you what, if I'm a fraud, let's fight this weekend. Bare knuckles till one man quits. Let's put up 20 mil each." Now, just quickly, before we actually analyse these words here, I want you man to remember, what did I tell you yesterday? Yesterday, your boy the YB exclusively reported on the fact that Fury came out and said, oh, Wilder wants 20 million for me to step aside. Yeah? And I told you, man, Fury just made it up. Now, just quickly, again, where do you think this 20 million figure's coming from? This proves what I was saying yesterday is correct. Fury's got a number in his head. It must be some kind of bare knuckle champion number. Oh, I bet his bare knuckle champion grandma gave it to him, 20 or something. That's what it sounds like to me. And from what I'm hearing, that's the same. 20 grand is the same amount of money they'll charge you for your drive that won't get done. Yeah. So in fact, let me tell you something now. If any of you man are getting a drive done, if any of your man's nans are getting their house gutted, if you hear number 20, run away. You know what I'm saying. You know it's a setup. If anyone ever quotes you, if any bare knuckle champion ever quotes you 20 grand or any number of a 20 in, get out of there, leave. Do not accept, because you know you're gonna get bumped, no doubt. Anyway, so Fury giving it the one about you knew about the arbitration. What I find interesting here is how serious Fury's going. Oh, you were trying to get into all the details. AJ weren't talking details. AJ was talking character. You have mugged the fans off. You are a muppet, Fury. You're not serious about business. You're not serious about anything. That's the level AJ came on. AJ didn't come on a details level. And the reason that's important is, later on, Fury says, oh, I'm not going to go into details on social media. You're the one who brought it there. And the problem is, you can't, Fury can't knock AJ's character. He's solid. That's not for me because I'm a super fan. It's the facts. Show me some of AJ's actions, not his words. Fury loves to go by words. Show me some of AJ's actions where he hasn't been solid. Show me them. You can't find them. About your team knew about the arbitration. Your team, let's not forget this. Your team is exposed fully and wholly to the arbitration business. Eddie Hearn didn't have any. Eddie Hearn doesn't have any information on what's going on with your team. Now, I actually think he should have asked for that, really, in my opinion. In my opinion, if I was involved in a multi-$100 million event, I'd have been saying to Fury, if you want us to be involved in this, we're going to need to see some of the details, in my opinion. Because, given the precedent, the precedent is that Wilder was always going to win that case. That's what the precedent says. If you got a contract, you got a contract. So, on that, if Fury's team are so confident they're going to win, I need to see what you're seeing, kind of thing. That's what Eddie Hearn should have, in my opinion, demanded. And at which point some people have told me, YB, that's never going to happen. Fury was never going to share them details. Well, and that's why AJ should have gone his own way. Because, like I said in my last video, this whole being nicey and loosey-goosey and trying to, do you know what I'm saying? This whole staying on your knees and letting Fury bust all over you, it don't work out well for no one. Yeah? But either way, I did it in my last video. The bottom line is here. Arbitration was on you, Fury. That's on you. Your team are exposed to that. Your team was blowing smoke up everyone's arse. Bob Arum. And to be fair, I do feel a bit sorry for Bob, but either way, Frank, you're part of that team as well. Yes, Bob's 90 million year old, to be fair to him. As old as you like. He can't even remember what he had for breakfast this morning. So you can't blame him really, can you? You can't blame him that he ain't got a clue what's going on. That said, there's plenty of other people, the lawyers themselves or whoever else, who should have an idea of what's going on here. So I don't understand how it can be Eddie Hearn's fault. It makes me laugh. There's all these goofy Fury fans who love to, oh, it's Eddie. What's wrong with you, man? Something wrong with you guys. But I know what it is. Any man who stays on their knees and loves Fury busting all over them, they're going to be goofy. You've got to be, you know what I'm saying? What kind of man likes that? You man love it. You man love just waiting for the next load that Fury busts on you. Yeah? You stay there for the money shot, no doubt. Oh, I've never seen a whole bag of man so excited for a big bubbly don to get off all over them. Because that's what he stays doing. That's what if anyone who suckered, anyone who believes Fury and his lies, like the whole charity thing as well, all of it, he's going to give money to charity. Someone calls him out on it. Oh, well, don't ask me what I do with my money. Oh, it's mine. Oh, yeah, giving it all that. Well, you're the one who tried to be Sammy the Hero. Yeah? Harry the Hero, did Fury try to be? Oh, well, my name's Harry the Hero. Oh, charity. Oh, giving it all that he was. Giving it all the pirate voice and whatnot. Yeah? People say, YB, Fury's from Manchester. He don't sound like a pirate. Yeah, he don't. What's wrong with you, Dons? But he don't sound like a pirate. He sounds exactly like a pirate. Exactly how I sound is how he sounds. To be fair with you, most of the time, it's an audio recording anyway. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, where was we? Listen. It was out of my hands. No, it wasn't out of your hands, Fury. You knew, and this is the thing. Fury and his team knew what they was doing. That's why they was stalling. Yeah? There's a reason. It's all adding up now. So there's a reason Fury was refusing to sign. Number one, he didn't want the fight full stop, but either way, he realised that if I sign for this fight, legally speaking, he's going to be open to millions of dollars of damages. If Saudi start building, you know what I'm saying? If you sign a contract, you're obliged to do that then. If you say, oh, I can't do it no more, it's peak for you. You're going to be sued. Or certainly, maybe even if you're not sued, you're going to be liable. And that's why Fury hung back. Now, that information, he could have passed that on. He could have said, Eddie, the truth is, we're more worried about this case then we've let on to you. On that basis, we can't sign. Instead, you try to be smart asses. Oh, well, 85% is... Now it makes sense why they were making dumb claims. They were making dumb... and I said this at the time. I said, anyone, yeah, who starts making ridiculous demands, they're trying to buy time. It all adds up now perfectly. All of it adds up. Trying to buy time they were. Rather than being honest. You know what, guys? We ain't this thing is touch and go. It's 50-50. Whether we're going to win this arbitration case. And we can't commit to something. That's all you had to say. Instead, you wanted to play Mr. Social Media Hero. Mr. Warrior on the internet. Mr. Bare Knuckle Champion on the internet. Trying to be a right hard ass. Oh, we're going to fight AJ. Knowing full well you ain't really going to do it. Number one, you didn't want to do it anyway. Number two, the arbitration case wouldn't let you do it. And this really sums Fury up. Oh, if you think I'm a fraud, let's this weekend fight bare knuckles until one man quits. That there, like again, people always tell me why don't you like these bare knuckle champions? That there says it all for me. That there says everything about Fury. You wouldn't even do it, Fury. Yeah? And like AJ goes on to say, if you're so bare knuckle, yeah, when your best friend's dad was getting moshy bashed, you did nothing. If you was going to bare knuckle anyone, it would have been then. The elders in our community, or in any community, especially bare knuckle community, by the way, though, the way you man bang on about your families and whatnot, you best believe the elders in any community are meant to be the most protected. Your elder was getting moshy bashed, and you and Tommy, two of age, alleged prime bare knuckle champions, stood there and froze. So who are you kidding, Fury? Bare knuckle fight AJ? You couldn't bare knuckle fight some random bouncer don who can't even fight properly. Who are you lying to? And we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that whole exchange later on down the line. But I just couldn't wait to tell you, man. That's where this is going. That's where this ends. This ends with AJ airing out Fury for choking when his best friend's dad was getting mauled by security. And that's why, for you man wondering, why has Fury disappeared from social media? Why hasn't Fury ended with the last word? Why did Fury leave his pregnant missus at 1 o'clock in the morning in Miami and go out on a bender? What would send him to that place? Oops, now we know. AJ globally aired out the fact that he jacked his pants when his best friend's dad, the elder in his community, got mauled by security. Fury and his brother, two of age prime bare knuckle champions, stood there and froze. You could see Fury's little feet. Fury's feet were stepping, but he was moving in the same spot. He couldn't get. There's a principle of go. Yeah. There was a man to Fury's left in the white shirt. He had to go in him. You didn't see his feet stepping in the same place. Do you know why? His feet were using him, and he was so small. He actually struggled to get over the barrier. He actually failed on the first attempt. Did it stop him? No. He got over on the second attempt and got straight stuck in. Fury, 6'9", stayed in the same place and was tapping his feet. You could just smell the anxious energy, the cortisol and adrenaline pumping through his veins. Unfortunately, his genetics wouldn't allow him to go. Instead, he was basically, I'm trying to think of a word, he was just simmering in the sauce. He was simmering in all the anxiety. For a long time, to be fair to him, for a long time I thought, I think Fury makes up all this mental health stuff, but he's exactly right. You're right, Fury. I can see the anxiety. Yeah, you was full of it. The fear was coursing through your veins. You didn't want none of that uncertainty. Because you've got to remember that there's levels to these cats. A boxer is in a controlled environment, yeah? A boxer is a controlled environment. That's a certain level. There's other dons. There's true dog dons, I call them. Or there's true animalistic dons. Animalistic dons are dons who, yes, they box, but also they'll give it to you anywhere. In a ring or not in a ring. People like Mike Tyson, Mitch Green, all these kind of cats there. Dons who are just, like I said, animals. They're dogs. And then you've got people like Fury, who's almost like a WWE cat. It's not really real. Boxing isn't really real like that. You can be a boxer and in a real life situation just freeze, as we saw Fury do. Yeah? Fury would, and again, if AJ pulled up on Fury, in my opinion, and there was no cameras around, he would freeze. He would become a politician. Oh, AJ, you know, the thing is, it's only for social media. And do you know what a great example of it? Conor McGregor. Perfect example. Sums it all up. What happened when Conor McGregor found himself in a tight squeeze? Oh, he became a politician. Oh, Khabib, it's only business. That's exactly how Fury would go out. And to be honest, truth be known, yeah, Conor McGregor is actually more animalistic than Fury, because what do we know? To be fair to McTapper, when his team got stuck into it, after the Khabib fight, when it all kicked off, hats off to McTapper, he got stuck in. He was happy to crack heads and just get stuck in with whoever was there. Fair play to him. Conversely, Fury, he weren't getting stuck in nowhere. He was just too busy choking. He was too busy caught up in his own sauce. Too busy caught up in his own adrenaline dump. Him and his brother. And that for me sums it all up. The fact that it was him and his brother shows it's a genetic limitation he has. They have no chin, no power, and no go. That's what you call it, go. Do you have the animalistic go? Fury does not. The Fury bloodline does not. Because if they did, when one of his elders were getting mauled, because at that point in time, you didn't know what's going to happen. We're talking a 65-year-old man here. No one has a clue what can happen. He can fall and bash his head. At that point in time, when your elder is vulnerable, when your elder, anything can happen to him, what did you do? Yeah? The Fury bloodline, all they can say they did was choke. Yeah? And later on you see Fury turn around, and I explained to you at the time. Later on in the video you can see Fury turn around, and he looks down to check, to see if his arse is fully fell out or not. And you can see there's a big sigh of relief when he realises, oh, thankfully I didn't just SHIT myself live on TV, because he wasn't sure at the time. He was that scared he thought he might have dribbled a bit out, kind of thing. One of them dribbly ones. Anyway, we're going to get to this whole topic in its own right, because it deserves its own time. At the end of the day, Fury is missing right now. Any of my Miami Dons, please, it's probably early hours of the morning now, please keep a lookout for him, because he's missing. Yeah, he on a mad one tonight. Any of my Miami Dons who are in the clubs, make sure you keep an eye out for Fury. He's been wearing the same shirt for about 2 weeks. Tell him, someone at least try and put him in the cab home. Yeah, we understand he's going through it right now. We understand AJ's ended his public social media persona. What we do know is, on the 19th of May, 2021, that was the last time Fury had any credibility. That was the last day Fury wasn't punked.